Welcome to Catholic Mom Mindset, a daily show where you learn to walk closely with the Holy Spirit so you can live the life God is calling you to. I'm your host, Sterling Jaquith. Let us begin. Welcome back. Today on day 6, we're talking about your unintentional model, noticing your existing behavior that's just happening. It's unintentional. It's what would happen if we had no training in mindset or psychology and you were just completely reactive to the things in your life. Okay, so we talked yesterday about how our thoughts create our results, and I wanted to give you one more example. Okay, let's say that you have a challenging relationship with your mom, and she says things on the phone sometimes and they hurt your feelings. I want you to slow that down even more and to think about the actual words that she said. Okay? She might have said a particular phrase, and then you have this thought, my mom doesn't love me. And when you think the thought, my mom doesn't love me, how does it feel? You might feel really sad. You might feel really embarrassed or ashamed. If you have this idea that moms should love you and you think your mom doesn't, you might feel ashamed. And then from the place of shame, what do? When you feel shame about yourself, you feel like something's wrong with you, what do? That's a hiding emotion. So you're probably not talking about your mom a lot. You're hiding your relationship, maybe from your husband. You don't talk about it a lot. It's too painful, so you just kind of sweep it under the rug. Maybe you hide it from yourself and you kind of go, oh, it's probably fine, and you move on. You don't even process it. Maybe you do feel deep shame, and then you try to cover that emotion up with eating or drinking or shopping. Anything you can do to not feel that feeling. And because we tend to, from the feeling of shame, hide and do things that aren't good for ourselves, what shows up in our result line is usually that we aren't loving ourselves. So you had this thought, my mom doesn't love me, and you feel shame, and then you show up in a very unloving way to yourself because you think that something's wrong with you. So this thought, my mom doesn't love me, creates a mirrored thought of, I'm not loving myself. Another thing that we do when we think someone doesn't love us is we ice them out. We don't address difficult topics with them. We just ignore them and we cut them off. We either, give them the cold shoulder. We don't answer their texts. And that's a totally understandable self-protective thing that we would do. But it's going to show up in our result line as us not loving them. We're like, fine, you don't love me. I'm not going to love you back. Now, this is all happening very quickly and unconsciously. But that is the whole purpose of this podcast, is I'm going to teach you how to be a Catholic woman who slows down her thinking and takes every thought captive to Christ and then creates the life that she wants on purpose. So if you have a challenging relationship with your mom or just anyone in your life, notice when you have a negative thought about that person, ask yourself, how does that make me feel? And then when I feel that way, how do I show up in my own life and with this person? And what are all those actions creating for me? And is this the way that I want to live? So an unintentional model is the thoughts that are clamoring in our mind, and we can run this model and we can see the results that we're getting. And then the question you want to ask yourself is this what I want? Is this the result that I want? And that's the very first step in kind of taking an inventory of our life and then looking forward to what we want to create. is this the kind of relationship I want with my mom? Now, you may have a narcissistic mom, and you may not be able to change that, but you can change your experience of her by changing your thoughts about her. And we're going to talk about difficult relationships in this show and what to do about it. But today, I just want to say again that our thoughts create our results. And when that's happening automatically, those are our unintentional models. And at the end of it, we get to ask, is this the way I want to live? Are these the results I want in my life? Is this the kind of relationship I want with my mom? Is it the kind of relationship I want with myself? So pay attention to what's happening in your day today. It may not be about a relationship, but you can just notice, is this the result I want in my life? And that is the first question that we want to ask to design a life on purpose, to become the best version of ourselves, to become saints. All right, you guys, that's your homework. Thanks so much for listening and have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Catholic Mom Mindset. To learn more about growing closer to the Holy Spirit, check out our free resources at madeforgreatness.co. Thank you so much for listening and have a blessed day.